Hey guys, bit of an odd one this time round because I made this video and then my microphone didn't work. So it's an almost entirely silent video. So I'm attempting to do a voiceover for this video. So shall we see how it goes? So I'm decluttering loads of stuff. I'm trying to curate my collection because I've got so many perfumes. I'm really starting to get rid of things that I'm not absolutely mad for. So let's start with the first perfume, which is Blue Orchid from Lanvin, and this is from their collection that's called, what's this one called? Les Fleurs de Lanvin. So I've really struggled. I've had this before in a declutter video and then I kept it because it is so pretty. The bottle's beautiful. It's quite an easy reach, but it is to me somewhere between a Baccarat Rouge 540 kind of scent and a Chanel Chance Eau Tendre, that kind of thing. It's almost like a mixture of those two. It's quite irisy, but it does have elements of both of those perfumes. And I have a BR 540 style perfume, which is my Guess Seductive Red, but I also have a Chanel Chance Eau Tendre style perfume. In fact, I've got two. I've got a little one from Philosophy that's like, I think it's called Amazing Grace Magnolia, and then I've got one from Sarah Jessica Parker called Stache Privé. And so this is kind of sitting in between the middle, and if I didn't have as many perfumes I'd probably keep it, but to be honest, I just do not need this particular perfume. I really like how it looks, but I feel like if I want a kind of powdery, slightly fluffy, sweet perfume, I have different choices. So just in a really harsh, I need to downsize because I don't have enough space for my perfumes, then I think this one is going to have to go. But I do think it's beautiful and I highly recommend it. It's a real struggle to get rid of this one because I think it's lush. So the next up is going to be Exclamation from Coty. Well, it's Exclamation Wild Musk. And this is one I'm only getting rid of it because I have a vintage version of Wild Musk, and also recently, because really I bought the Exclamation version of Wild Musk, which is a sort of a more orangey version of Wild Musk, but I bought it because I didn't want to use up all of my vintage one, and I wanted this to be the one that I could just reach for easily. It's not very strong, it doesn't last very long, but it's really pretty. But then I got A Lovely Summer by Sarah Jessica Parker, and honestly, that one is like a spicier version of the old Wild Musk. So it's ambery, it's super musky, it's got that kind of deep, warm Egyptian musk kind of scent about it. It's really, really pretty, and I feel like that is the one I'm going to reach for. So I just don't need to keep the Exclamation. So next up we have CK1 Gold. Actually, I haven't got rid of this one. I just gave it to my husband. I love it. It's super unisex. It's really nice. But the vetiver just leaned a little bit too masculine on my skin. It's a glorious fig perfume. It smells so good on Damon. He smells amazing in it. He wears this one for me a fair bit because he knows I really like it. So yeah, I mean, I wore it a few times. He's worn it quite a few times now. He'll get through this one, and then if he gets through it, I'm probably just going to buy him a massive bottle of it because it's super affordable. It's really beautiful. But yeah, I've got another fig perfume, Toka Lucia. So that one for me is a little bit more of a kind of feminine leaning unisex, whereas I think CK1 Gold, I find all of the CK ones to be slightly masculine leaning, to be honest. So yeah, that's just been rehomed with my husband, so I still get to smell it. It's just not one that's in my personal collection, so I don't wear it myself. But yeah, I think it's so beautiful. It's the best CK1 perfume that I've smelled ever. So this next one is so hard for me because it smells so good and I really, really like it. I can't comfortably wear it and it's a little bit too masculine for me. So I do think it's absolutely fabulous, and I couldn't get my husband to wear it because he actually thinks it's too feminine, whereas for me it leans ever so slightly masculine. Lolita Lempicka Green Lover. It is such a good scent. It is a green vanilla. It's got like a gin and tonic note in it and loads of mandarin. So it's got this brightness, it's got this freshness, it's got a little bit of mint. If you can imagine a really vanillic like pudding or something, like a creme caramel or like a pastel de nata, the custard tarts, on the table next to a gin and tonic with a sprig of mint and a big slice of like mandarin orange or something. That's what Lolita Lempicka Green Lover smells like. So yeah, Damon he wouldn't wear it. It's too vanillic for him. He does wear Lolita Lempicka, I think it's called Lolita Lempicka Homme. He loves that one. I love Lolita Lempicka. But the thing is, I've got 2 little sample sprays of Green Lover, so I can still keep this in my collection, like in terms of like tiny, in case I do want to smell it or I do get the urge to wear it. But it's very long lasting, and the bitterness and the kind of gin and tonic, the greenness lasts the whole way through with this, even though there is quite a sweet, creamy, beautiful vanilla. But yeah, I know perfectly well that the reason I've been hanging on with this so long is because I love the bottle. I just love this bottle, and I'm really sad to get rid of it, but I just don't wear it, so it has to go. Oh man, the next one is one that I do think is lovely, but it's just not one that suits me. I love the bottle. I think it's amazing. It's super affordable, like literally £10-15 for a huge bottle, but it just doesn't work for me. So Chantilly from Dana, I'm going to have to pass this one on. I love this bottle. I think it's so cool. I mean, the lid's a bit lame, but the actual bottle is really nice. So for me, it's too much like Shalimar, and Shalimar I just don't get on with. Like, it's got... is this technically a chypre? I think it might have oak moss and things like that, in which I really struggle with. But it's kind of slightly vanillic. It's quite lemony. It's got like a baby powder cleanliness to it. So it's like soapy while being vanillic, and it's got like a smoky, suede-y note. Now, it's not as smoky as Shalimar. This is a much easier to wear perfume than Shalimar, I would say, from Guerlain. But yeah, it just doesn't suit me. It doesn't feel like me. If I'm going to lean towards like a really vintage smelling perfume, I will go more the Chanel No. 5 side of the vintage profile, the kind of the lovely, sweet but soapy skin, rather than the more vanillic and smoky Shalimar kind of style. It's just not my kind of vibe, to be honest. So as much as I really want to keep the bottle, I'm not going to wear this perfume. I highly recommend it if you like Shalimar. It's absolutely an excellent alternative, put specifically to like Shalimar EDT. It doesn't have that burning rubber smell that some people get from Shalimar, but yeah, it's just not for me. So this next one, unfortunately, because this didn't work out how I planned, this one's already sold on eBay. So this is Super Milk from Lush. I put this up on eBay and it's sold for a ridiculous amount of money. So there are people who love this. So I am glad I passed it on, because there's no point in me keeping it if I'm not going to wear it. I mean, the thing with Super Milk, and actually I've had the same thing when I've tried Chelsea Morning, their new one, on my skin. There is a bitter citrus note that really winds me up. It's like benzoin, and so it's got like that benzoiny, gingerbready kind of vibe in it that I get from benzoin, especially the Lush benzoins. But it's then got like a creaminess and a sweetness, and there's a lot of citruses, but it really smells like citrus peel, citrus oil, all of those. And it doesn't sit very well on my skin. And I found the same with Chelsea Morning, which is supposed to be like butterscotchy, but I find it to actually be it's like a little bit similar to Super Milk. It's like somewhere in between Super Milk and Sticky Dates. So Super Milk just doesn't suit my skin. If I'm going to wear a benzoiny Lush perfume, I'm going to go for What Would Love Do. Sadly, they don't make that anymore, but I love that one. That's lavender and I think clementine and loads of benzoin. That's a good winter warmer. And then, of course, also I've got Far from And Perfumery, and that is like a lemon cheesecake. That is a creamy lemon yumminess. So yeah, I just had to accept that I wasn't going to get on with Super Milk. It's just not my favourite. And to be honest, I don't think the hair stuff is my favourite smell either. So last time I bought Super Milk for my hair, I ended up getting rid of that because I just didn't really use it because it's such a strong smell. So unless you're really in on that particular scent, it's like so pungent, so strong. It's the same with a lot of Lush hair things. I have to be in the mood, in a specific mood to use certain Lush products, because otherwise it's just all I can smell. So this next one, I've tried it out a few times and I just have to admit to myself that it's not for me. So this is Tutto Tondo and it's called Riso. It's the only Tutto Tondo I actually kept. I sold the tiramisu and I sold the castagna, I think it's called, which is the chestnut one. The rice note is just too dirty for me. It just smells like literal cooking rice, which I'm sure loads of people love. It's too gourmand, it's too realistic, and I just think there is a stale smell with some rice notes, in the same way like some cookie notes, some biscuit notes, some bready notes. They come across to me as smelling very stale, and I just can't get past that with Riso. It just has such an obvious rice note, and it really smells like cooking basmati rice, if you know what that smell is. And then you've got a really fresh thing going on though. I think there's some kind of berry or like raspberry or something in Riso. I don't know if it says that on Fragrantica, but on the actual Riso, on the Tutto Tondo site and on other sites, it mentions berries. You've got like mandarin. So there is like a thinness to this, so it's not too thick. It's light. It's supposed to be worn in summer. It's got a lovely creamy sweetness, but I just get too much basmati and I just can't deal with it. So I'm probably going to take like a small decant of this in case I want to compare it to things, or in case I'm suddenly in the mood to smell like rice. But I will pass the large bottle on because it's too umami for me. Does that make sense? Like, it's got too much of a savouriness for me to enjoy wearing it. It's just not quite like, and my husband really doesn't like this kind of bready or branny or ricey gourmands either. He really doesn't like these. So if I'm not really enjoying it and he really doesn't like it, there's not really much point in keeping it. So I'm just going to get rid of this one. But, you know, it means someone in the UK can get a lovely perfume, because I will put this up on eBay. So the next one, this is actually really nice. It's just far too shampoo-y for me, unfortunately, and I cannot get on with shampoo-y perfumes. This is Davidoff Run Wild, and I think it's lily and pomegranate and pistachio, I think is the main gist of it. But it's got quite a fruity note in it, and the lily, it's not ridiculously sharp. I think it's jasmine and lily. I might be getting that wrong, but I think it's jasmine and lily. It's just too shampoo-y for me. And it's not even that like it's too sharp, because it's not like hugely sharp, but it definitely has a very obvious shampoo-y scent to it. I don't get much of the pistachio. I wasn't expecting to be honest, but I kind of loved this bottle and I just wanted to know what it smelled like. But I think if you love things like Acqua di Gioia, Ocean di Gioia, if you like those very shampoo-y perfumes, those musky kind of yummy but watery shampoo-y perfumes, you'll probably really like Run Wild by Davidoff. It's really pretty, but like the furthest I can go into the shampoo realm is my L'Occitane Cherry Blossom perfume, because those are like, they're somewhere between shampoo and a bar soap. Once I leave the bar soap realm and I go straight into the shampoo, I find it screechy, I find it headache inducing, and I just can't do it. So yeah, I can't get along with it. And I kept it for a little while because someone in my comments said I should leave it and try it again, because it was much nicer when she went back to it. And I have tried that. It doesn't work. It doesn't work for me. It's too shampoo-y. I don't dislike it though. I think it's lovely. I think I'd love it on someone else. So then we've got Happy by Chopard, and this is Bigoradia, if I've said that correctly. So I haven't tried the Magnolia, but I've tried all the others, and maybe Chopard perfumes just aren't for me. There's something about them that I can't jive with. And this one, it's neroli and orange blossom, and it's just too much neroli and orange blossom. It's just way too much. To be fair, they are some of my least favourite notes in perfumes. They are also some of the florals that I find the most overwhelming. So it's a shame though, because this one, Bigradia, I'm terrible at Italian and French. It has a slight element of Hermès Le Jardin sur le Nil, because it has like carrot seeds. It has this kind of gardeny smell to it, while also having some juicy fruitiness. But it's much more orange blossom and orange. If you can imagine like sur le Nil, but with a massive dose of like neroli and orange blossom and bright orangey citruses. It's that kind of thing. So if you like orange blossom and you love sur le Nil, then you might really enjoy this one from Chopard. I love these bottles. It's why I've tried them. It's why I keep thinking, because I'm sure at some point I'm going to persuade myself to get Magnolia and be like, I just really want to have one of these bottles, because I just love these Chopard bottles, but I cannot find a Chopard that I like as a perfume. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty typical that I don't like a lotiony orange blossom kind of perfume. This is a little bit on the lotiony side, or you know, sometimes they're a bit shampooy, like I just said. But yeah, I mean, maybe like a hair conditioner or something, this one. But I just can't do it. So it doesn't really work. But I love the bottle so much. It's such a heavy glass lid. It's so lush. Anyway. So next up, we've got Jo Malone Wood Sage and Sea Salt. And, you know, I bought this mainly to do a comparison video. So this one, I'm afraid, is already sold on eBay. This one's already gone. I think that a better choice for this is the Philosophy perfume, which is called Summer Moments. So that's got coconut in it, so it's a little bit different, but it definitely smells very similar to Wood Sage and Sea Salt. Obviously, much more affordable, easier to get, and it probably lasts a little bit longer, if not the same amount of time. So it's just a better value one. But I got Wood Sage and Sea Salt purely to make a video comparing things to Wood Sage and Sea Salt. So it's okay. I'm not mad for it. It's like not my favourite. I can understand why people really love it. It's just not like a sheer woody, very unisex and slightly salty perfume isn't really my kind of vibe. So I never really planned to keep hold of this mini. But yeah, it's just not my kind of thing. So then we've got Ultraviolet by Paco Rabanne. I had this when I was young and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. I still think it's beautiful. I have taken a decant of this one because before I sell it, I know that I want to have a little bit of it around, but I definitely don't need this big bottle because it is so difficult for me to wear. It's a violet perfume, but it's like a fruity violet perfume. It's got quite a lot of a syrupy apricot. It's got like chili, I think it's got chili pepper. So it's spicy. It's really interesting. It's very beautiful. In a way, it's one of my favourite violet perfumes, but for some reason I just struggle so much to wear it. It gets very strong. It lasts forever, and you get like a nice level of the sharpness from like violet when you first spray it, but then the sweetness from the syrupy fruitiness in here becomes very sickly to me when I wear it. I think it's probably just my skin. And again, if I smelt someone wearing this, I would absolutely love it. But it's just not comfortable for me. So yeah, I mean, I love it. I really do. But I think it has to find a new home, despite the fact that it's so cool. And the bottle's so cool. But yeah, I don't think it suits me. I think it's a problem with this one. So next up, we have a L'Occitane perfume called Melilot. I bet you don't pronounce it like that. That's a very British way of saying that word. But anyway, Melilo or something like that, I imagine it is. Okay, so this is a perfume that, again, has been in and out of my declutter kind of pile because I think it's lovely. I do think it's lovely. But I don't think it's more lovely than other sweet powdery perfumes I've got. And I don't think it's more lovely than the kind of honeyed, beautiful golden smelling L'Occitane perfumes that I have. It has like barley and those kind of notes in it, so it also has a bit of that stale biscuity smell that I don't like and my husband doesn't like again. So although there's something I really love about it, it's the same as Blue Orchid, from Lonvin from earlier. I think it's lovely, but it's not more lovely than the perfumes that are slightly similar to it that I actually love. So this is a like and not a love. The same Blue Orchid was a like and not a love, you know? But I do think if you like sweet, powdery, almost slightly biscuity, slightly gourmand, enveloping, fluffy scents, Melio is absolutely delicious. Or Melilo. And it's such a cool bottle. That's what caught my attention in the first place. But I don't need to keep this because I don't love it. And the point of curating my collection is that I just want to keep things that when I wear them, I'm like, oh my God, I love this. Or if I pick it up to smell it, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to wear it, or I want to wear it today. Rather than with some of them where I smell them, I'm like, no, not today. I'm not sure it's really for me. And if I feel like that more often than not, then I don't need it in my collection. So yeah, absolutely gorgeous. It totally has like a sunshiny French vibe, and I just think it's beautiful, but I just don't need it in my collection. Yeah, it's one that's been quite hard for me to get rid of, to be honest, but I have at the moment well over 300 perfumes in my flat. I would like to get down, I mean, I'm not like giving myself a number, but I would like all of the boxes I have that have perfumes in to be cleared out, because I just want them in my displays and in like the cupboards where I keep like the things I want to keep completely out of the light. So like vintages, and my little drawer where I have like minis and stuff. I just don't want to have loads of extras everywhere else in my flat, you know, because I have other things I need to put away. So yeah, I will be putting anything from here that is still available, I'll be putting on eBay. I've got a link to my eBay account in my profile, so you can go and have a look at my actual YouTube page and you'll be able to find it in the About Me section. And yeah, so there'll be quite a few declutters coming up because I've got loads of stuff that I need to clear out, and I've got loads of stuff I haven't even talked to you about yet that I bought specifically to review and to compare to other things. So yeah, there's going to be quite a few regular declutter videos coming up while I really go hard on curating my collection. And don't worry guys, I mean, honestly, my curated collection is still going to probably be at minimum 150 perfumes, so I'm still going to have quite a lot, I imagine. But yeah, I want loves, loads of loves, and you know, maybe a few that are just very special occasions or like serve a really specific purpose. But I don't need as many kind of, I just like them. I don't need as many of those perfumes, because when I wear Melio, I could have just been wearing Terre de Lumière from L'Occitane, and it has a similar kind of vibe, but I just love it much more. So, you know, I might as well just be a bit sensible here. Anyway, I hope this voiceover worked. I hope it didn't look too weird with my hands flailing around in this video. And fingers crossed I can work out how to put these together in Adobe Rush so that you can actually watch this video, because it's been sitting around for a little while. All right, thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to subscribe if you like my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye.